Namaste. Welcome you all for the classes on meditation. This is the 42nd class in the series. We are trying to understand the kleshas, which according to Patanjali are the main reason for all our suffering. And the basic aim of yoga is yoga chitta vritti nirodha, the mastery over the mind. Towards this, we have been exploring the kleshas, namely avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, adhinivesha, in which we have already seen most of these things, and we are trying to explore what is self and what is non-self. So in the previous class we saw this based on the Panchakosha concept. Today we will look at this aspect of self from yet another perspective, because it is very difficult to explain what is self, but we can only provide some pointers to move towards that. Therefore, we make all types of possible approaches so that it is possible to move towards the truth called the self. So sit upright, gently close your eyes, sit in any comfortable position. If you can't sit on the floor, sit on a chair. If you are sitting on the floor, sit on a blanket or a pillow, but sit upright. Palms should face upwards. Have complete postural awareness. Just watch the breath. Be completely relaxed. Now we are going to chant the sacred word Om 3 times. Watch the vibrations in and through your body. Take a deep breath. Feel the inner calmness. When there is freedom from thoughts, automatically that calmness, that peace, that bliss becomes evident. We don't need any special effort to be blissful. Just that freedom from thoughts, incessant thoughts, habitual pattern of thinking. If that stops, then bliss is self-evident. But that habitual pattern is because of the kleshas that are present in us, and Patanjali identifies Avidya as the fundamental klesha, which we are exploring. Now slowly open your eyes. We know this. Anitya Shuchi, Dukkha Anatmasu Nitya Shuchi, Sukha Atmarkyatir Avidya. The whole problem is mistaking impermanent to be permanent, impure to be pure, dukkha to be sukha, and non-self to be self. Now we are trying to explore what is this self and non-self. We have seen the Panchakosha approach, and now we will see from another perspective as to what this Atma or self, or in other words, also called consciousness. What is this? We all know that whatever is happening in us, all the emotions that we go through, etc., we are able to know. We are able to detect. We are able to detect that I am disturbed, I am sad, I am happy, etc. Which means there is a witness, there has to be a witness. The moment we know we can see or perceive these changes, that is because there is a witness, and that witness does not change, because only then the changes can be detected. Please understand this. We have a room which is full of some objects, and then we completely empty it. A person who newly comes will only say room is empty, but he will not know that it was full and now it is empty. A person who has seen this room when it was full of objects will immediately say that there is a change here. which means the witness has to be same. Witness should not change. This is the first thing. Then this witness is actually what we call as the self. This is not a part of the body. It is not a product of the body. When we say body, it includes body-mind, this complete system, and is not amenable to organs of perception. We shall just contemplate on these things. Gently close your eyes. All over, whatever we do, we are able to know that, including sleep, not during sleep, but when we wake up, we know we slept well, or whatever it is. That is because there was a witness. Otherwise, we would not have known. And we are experiencing this in and through our life. Our body is changing, the mind, the emotional content in it keeps changing, swinging. All these things we are able to know because there is a witness called the self. So that self does not change. That remains the same. Because it remains the same, we are able to know all the changes that are happening. And this witness, or the self, in other words called the Atma, is not a part of this body-mind. Because if it were a part, then it also will change. But we know that witness is not changing. Ever since we remember, our days of childhood till now, this witness remains the same. Witness means that through which we are able to detect all the changes, see all that is happening. That itself does not change. But it can know all the changes. That is the self. It is not a part of the body. Because all the parts of the body and mind, they are all subjected to change. Whereas this witness, through which we experience all this, that witness itself does not change. And it is not a part of the body and mind. Next important thing is it is not a product of this body mind also. If it is something that is produced by this body mind, then obviously that will also is subjected to change. Try to contemplate on this. There is something in us through which we are witnessing all these that is happening. The gross changes in the body, the changes in our emotions. That witness is constant, not subjected to any change, is not a part of the body, it is not a product of this body. And this self we cannot see. We know it is there, but we cannot see it. We cannot hear it. We cannot smell it. We cannot taste it. We cannot touch it. In fact, to see anything that is possible only through this self, or Atma, or the Chaitanya. Similarly, if you have to hear, smell, taste, touch, all that is possible through this self or this witness only. But this self or witness itself is not amenable to any of our sense organs. For example, you are sitting in a pitch dark room. Even if your eyes are open, you will not be able to see anything. Not even your body. Let's imagine such a dark room. Just because we are not able to see our body, we don't say we don't exist. Even though through the eyes you cannot see and maybe you will not be able to hear, and let us assume that sense of touch is also not there. Like in a space environment, let us say, you don't have the feeling of gravity. And let's also imagine there is complete darkness. There is all soundproof, no smell, no taste. Even in such environment, just because we are not able to perceive from organs of sense, we don't say I don't exist. There is something in us which indicates to us that I exist. That is the self. So contemplate on this. Do this imaginary exercise where your eyes, nose, tongue, skin, ear, they all become dysfunctional. No input from them. Even then, there is something which says I exist. Which means, it says means that indication of existence is always there. And that is possible because of this self, Atma. So contemplate on this. We shall explore more into this in the next class. And whatever kind of approaches, words that we use cannot still define Atma, because it is beyond the organs of perception. But all these words, approaches, they are only handposts for us to experience the self. To understand self is to experience self. Take a deep breath. योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। हरि ओम। श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। शुभमस्तु।